Good evening, everybody. Tonight we've got the great pleasure of having Fausto back with us. We always get excellent feedback when Fausto comes on. So he's probably one of the best investment trainers that you're going to run across. So I'm not going to take up any more of his time. Fausto, welcome back to the Candlestick Forum. We're anxious to see your information tonight.
Steve, thank you very much for having me again. And I know it's been a little while. And listen, I can't even count how many times I've been here already. I've probably known you for over 10 years now, and it's always great that we always bounce ideas and introduce our fellow traders out there to get a feel of what exactly the difference of how the markets trade. And for everyone here, I'm actually a day trader. I'm going to talk a little bit about stock trading, how it works, and like Steve just told you. If some of you have never seen me before or heard from me, I'm one of the original So's Bandits that started back in the early 90s. When I started, there was about, I would say 400 or 500 of us, and now there's pretty much over 10,000, more than that, over 25 million people that are trading every day. So I'm going to tell you guys about the art of trading, how it works, what it is, why people make money, why people lose money, and then I'm going to tell you the philosophy about level 3 trading, what is high-frequency trading and all that stuff. And then, like I said, at the end of this presentation, guys, I'm not looking to sell anything or any of that. I'm just here for you guys to learn and hopefully get the opportunity to invite all of you to come and see what it's like to be in a real professional trading room, in pre-market hours. Now, just out of curiosity, if everybody could just give me a chat back. Is anybody here? Just tell me what kind of trader everybody is. If you're a stock trader, day trader, forex, swing trader, options, futures, just kind of get to know a little bit about everyone that's logged in right now. Okay, Steve, you're a stock trader, futures, options. Okay, Stan does a little day trading and swing trading. Forex from Tom. Jay does some stock trading. Warren does some options, futures, ETFs. Okay, prefer swing trading, stock trading, options. All right. Well, listen, I see we have quite a few people trading options, and I just want you guys to know that if you want to be a good options trader, you got to learn how to trade the stock first, because it's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. And, swing trading, same thing. You got to know what happens over the course of the day to know what swing trades. Now, I personally don't do futures and forex trading, but there's some great presenters out there that will talk a little bit about it. I try not to be jack of all trades. People always ask me, and because I see people, I trade stocks and futures and forex. I'm like, how do you trade all those different markets? You got to be good at one before you could trade them all. So anyway, let's talk about what we're going to learn. I'm going to talk about how to find triple-digit gainers, movers in the stock market. I'm also going to talk about why level 3 is the closest thing to a crystal ball, why you need to follow the smart money, and what is time in sales when it comes to trading. So those are all the good things we're going to talk about. Now, just to let you know a little bit about myself, for some of you have never heard me before, or why is it, Steve is having me here today. Well, it was because I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've been in business for over 25 years. That's a long time to hear that somebody's been around. So just like you saw on the, a little bit of my bio, before I was a successful trader, I was a pretty successful loser. I blew up about 2 accounts, and it took me to realize that I could always come back. And on the third time, I said, you know what? I'm actually going to go out there and get a job as a trader, because learning on my own obviously does not work in trading by myself. And let me tell you what you guys are going to learn today. The same thing I learned 25 years ago. Should have never made my first trade, because it didn't matter what Fausto thought. It's what Wall Street does. There's great tools out there that are going to tell you how things go up and down due to supply and demand. You just have to kind of just follow what they're doing. Now, over the years, after working as a prop trader, here in New York, I wanted to go and work on my own. And my mentors always taught me, says, Fausto, let me tell you something. You're going to leave this great environment working for us. Well, you're pretty much not going to have a good chance to survive. And I'm like, why is that? Because you got to trade with traders. You have to surround yourself with good traders. You got to have the technology and everything. So that's how Cyber Trading University was born. People always ask me, how did it all start? Well, that's how I started the original online trading room and got into the industry of trading. Now, my thing, ladies and gentlemen, is not to teach you how to trade, but how to be part of a trading community and learn how to think for yourself. So that's what I'm basically going to be teaching all of you, how to think for yourself, because great traders never stop learning. Now, regarding about trading, just to let you know, guys, I'm an actual day trader. Is anyone here day trade, by the way, just out of curiosity? Anybody here day trade at all? Or because, people always get scared. I was just down in Florida last week, and I don't know if anybody here have an account with TradeStation. I was down there with TradeStation. They flew me down to do a presentation to all their traders. They had this big mastery course where these people pay thousands of dollars to attend this event for a week, and I did a presentation. And they had this great dinner, and I was at the bar having talking to the some of the students, and there was just some guy just listening across from me, and he just happened to poke his nose and he's like, I'm just curious, what do you guys do for a living? And I says, we trade the market. They're like, really? And people actually make money doing that? And I'm like, yeah. And they said, what do? You teach them? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. And he's like, and they actually make money doing it. And I just knew right away, and I know Steve goes through this all the time, I just knew right away I'm just dealing with a person that probably blew up his account, tried to do it on his own, and just refused to get education. So the point is this. You got to learn before you can earn. And you got to find out what works best for you. And what works best for me is that I like to sleep at night, and that's what happened with this gentleman. He was saying, I tried day trading, you're going to blow up your money and this and that. And you got to remember, like some of you just mentioned earlier, you can't be a jack of all trades. You got to be good at one thing before you can be good at everything. And sure enough, this guy wasn't day trading, he was swing trading, he was, doing futures trading, Forex, it was all over the place. So that is the first rule a lot of you guys got to remember. You got to learn to do one thing and one thing only, because if you don't and you start mixing and matching, you could have a situation like, GameStop, if you saw this the other day, how this stock went from 16 down to 11, and people got crushed. And you wake up in the morning and you're like, what do I do next? Well, I don't know about averaging down because it went lower at the end of the day, but you just got to know how to play the game. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to talk about right now is I want to kind of educate a lot of you, why people fail, okay? Why people get themselves in trouble in the market. The first thing I just want to clarify is people always come up to us, guys like me and Steve, and first thing they ask, who's got the cheapest tickets? Who can I open up a brokerage account with, okay? Let me just tell you something. Half the people fail in trading just having the wrong brokerage account. First of all, think about it. Why does brokerage firms give you 200 free tickets? Oh, we're going to give you a free 500, account to trade our money. Oh, we got free software. Oh, we're going to give you a free gift card, free this, free that. You know why they do that? Because they're trading against you. They know that 80% of the people lose in the market. And let me tell you, the ones that give you the free stuff actually have the worst execution system. Now, I'm not here to market brokerage firms or tell you who's the best and who you should do. That's the least of your problems right now. If you have a brokerage account, okay, whatever, don't worry about it right now. We can worry about that later. But I'm just letting you know that half the people fail because they want to try trading and they open a brokerage account. And listen, you could be honest. I know some of you here are probably guilty of it, and that's okay. That's why we're here, right? To learn things not to do. Now, when it comes to trading, everybody, you just got to remember, you don't want, you don't want to go out there and look for all these great deals, because this is how you kind of get screwed in the market. Now, when it comes to trading, everyone, there's two different brokerage firms, and one of them that we're going to be focusing on to get a very good execution, to do a good trade, because not only to have the good philosophy behind trading, you got to make sure you have the right brokerage account. And one of them I just want to kind of clarify is a direct access broker. You cannot trade without a direct access broker. What that basically means, it's like one's public transportation, the other one's like driving your own car. You know, we all know that driving up, public transportation is pretty damn cheap. You know, we were just joking around. Steve was saying, hey, where in New York do you live? I said, Long Island. He was just sitting there complaining and saying, oh, my God, I went to, live in Pittsburgh and traffic is terrible, getting in and out of there. So we just stay home. It's a lot easier. Listen, but being savvy enough, we just know when to get in and when to go out, when to drive and when to take public transportation. Everything has a value. But when it comes to trading, I'm telling you, I see so many people make that number one biggest mistake. So what is this cyber trading strategy? I agree. I need direct access to the market, Carl says. Well, like I told you, Carl, don't worry about that right now. That's the least of your problems. Okay? But I just want to clarify. Your biggest problem right now is finding the right mentor that's going to teach you how to trade to trade the way, will make you make money. And not only that, everybody's all over from all different parts of the world, so everyone's got different margin requirements and yada, yada, yada. All right, so let's get right to the Cyber Trading University strategy. Everyone always wants to know, okay, I heard about you, Fausto. I watched on YouTube. I heard things about level 3. You keep coming up, and, I want to know exactly how do market makers actually make money? Well, how do I know this? Because I was one of them. Okay, that's what I used to do. So I'm going to tell you right now one of Wall Street's darkest secrets. And what that is nothing is illegal. This is just how they trade. And you're going to realize some of you are probably making things more complicated than what it is. Now, I'm not going to contradict anything that Steve teaches you. His philosophy behind trading with his dojis and everything are hands down. I even use them myself. But I'm going to teach you a strategy that's going to basically teach you something called supply and demand. Now, how does supply and demand work? Well, I got a question for everyone here. How do stocks go up and go down? Can everybody answer that question? Sometimes I will take a break, and I do want to ask everybody questions. And by the way, I'm going to be testing you as I go along. But everyone could just write in there and just tell me, how do things go up and down in the market? Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. If you don't know, give me a question mark. Carl says buying and selling. Steve says volume. Supply and demand, Kay saying. Okay. Perception of fear and greed? No. Well, kind of, but it really comes up to supply and demand, right? Buyers and sellers. Everybody agree with me? Buyers and sellers. Could everyone just write S&D? I want to make sure nobody's sleeping and watching, the news. All right, good. I don't want to be... Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself and want to make sure everybody's paying attention. Because let me tell you something. When you're dealing with money on the line, guys, you got to pay attention. All right? Be focused because, listen, this is not going to be that long because what I'm about to show you right now is the most important and the best part of today's presentation. So basically what you need to do is follow the smart money. Okay? How to follow the smart money? It all starts by understanding where the volatility is in the market and seeing what direction it's on. But you got to have one of the most important tools, which is what's going to be called level 3. Now, does anyone here have level 3 quotes? Anybody here trading on like Instinet or the Matrix, Total View? Everyone's got a couple of names. If you don't know, just do whatever. Just level 2, okay? Total View, Carl? All right. Jay says no. Only level 2. All right. So I can see, okay, so let me explain all 3 differences. Okay, you got 3 different levels. Hold on, let me get my crayons out here. Okay, so you guys can follow along. All right, so level 1 is basically telling you what the bid and offer is. So if I ask you what a quote for AMD is, you'd be like, oh, AMD, it's trading at $21.34. Okay, that's level 1. Okay, now, yes, you can find the book value. You could see a lot of stuff. You could see market cap, P ratio, but how does that make you money, right? I mean, basically, level 1 is free. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it on your phone. It's just a quote. That was big back in the 80s. Then back in the 90s, level 2 came out. Now, level 2 kind of gives you a little bit more data. Kind of shows you who wants to buy it on the bid and who wants to sell it on the offer. The problem with level 2, okay, it only tells you the best bid and best offer of that brokerage firm. It doesn't show you all the bids and all the offers. So how does that help you? All right? Because level 2, which I know some of you, Lewis, you said yourself you have it. How much are you paying for it? What does level 2 cost? What do you guys pay for level 2? Anybody? What are you paying? It's free. Okay, exactly. And you know what? That's all it's worth. Why would they give you something that's so valuable for free? Right? Now, let's get into level 3. Level 3 is going to show you 20 times more data than level 2 is. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of level 3, but just listen to me carefully so we can follow along what I'm about to show you. When you have level 2, you're only seeing the best bid and the best offer for the brokerage firm. Level 3 is going to show you all his bids and all his sells. You got that? All the buys from that brokerage firm at every single price and every sell at every single price. And what I have this right here is I have it aggregated, so it's bunching a bunch of orders at one time. So think about it. If you guys ever heard of something called Instinet, ECN book, this is basically what you're looking at right here. Now, just remember though, when it comes to level 2, you're not seeing all the data. You're seeing only partial data. So it's pretty much this. This is what you need to look at. This is what's going to show you where the orders are. Now, the question people are asking, okay, great. I see a bunch of numbers. You know, what does that tell me? How do I watch it? Well, what we're going to focus on is that if you know how to read, which I assume a lot of you do, if you look at a chart, right, you got support levels and you got resistance levels, right? What makes a support level? Buying. What makes resistance levels? Selling. So how do we actually, now when we incorporate this, level 3, this is going to help explain if those support and resistance levels that you see in the chart are legitimate. By the way, Katie, if you can't see it, you should be able to log in. Does everybody see the PowerPoint? Everybody see the PowerPoint okay? Okay, good. All right, so let's look at this example right here. Okay, here's a chart, very simple chart, nothing on it. But you could see right here, you notice the stock had a very tough time going past $18, right? Why would the stock not break 18? Why won't it go to 17? Why wouldn't it go to 16 or 10 or 0? Why did it stop at $18? Anybody tell me? What do you think would make this stock stopping from breaking below 18? There's buyers, right? Now, the problem with the chart, it's not going to show you buyers, it'll only show you what happened in the past. So, how do we confirm that there was real buyers out there? When you look over here on the level 3, and you work your way down all the way to 18, you'll notice there's a 61,000 share buyers sitting at 18. 61,000. A hell of a lot more shares than you guys are trading, right? And that's okay. Listen, I'm not a big shot. I'm not going to show off and, hey, you know what? I'm not going to brag that, and feel bad I'm only trading a couple of hundred or 1,000 shares. Listen, guy wants to trade 61,000, God bless him, because you know what? He could actually influence the stock better than you and I. So, by having that big buyer out there and not being prepared for it, look what the stock ended up doing. It went from 18 all the way to 1890 in a matter of what? An hour? So, and you ever wonder, like, I don't understand, what's pushing the stock up? Well, what's pushing the stock up is the demand. It's not complicated stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Are there level 3 data for from only one brokerage firm? No, CB. This is aggregated and with all the brokers, all the exchanges, everybody, every single order out there in the entire world. Okay, SP, does level 3 help us with swing trading since you're watching intraday trade? Absolutely, absolutely. Of course it does. Of course it does, because you'll see these orders sitting out there. All right, let's move on, because once again, I got less than an hour and time flies, and I got a bunch of slides to go through. Let's go through this one right here. Let's look at this example. Look at this stock right here. Goes from $39.20 all the way in an hour and stops at $40 a share. Not $37, not $42, $40 a share. And not only that, but it hit 40, came back down to $30, $39.70, went back to 40. For some ridiculous reason, it didn't want to break it, and not knowing to get out of it, it ran all the way back down to $39.50. Now, why did the stock not break $40, everybody? What do you think? What makes a resistance level on a chart? Sellers. Okay? Do you see sellers on a chart? No, because it's only what happened in the past. That's exactly right, everybody. When you look at the level 3, there's 138,000 share sellers sitting there. Hello? So you could sit there and you could hope all you want. And as much as this stock looked like it's breaking out, you know what? Until that seller moves out of the way, stock's not going anywhere. Now, I was waiting for someone to bring that up. Are these fakes? You know what? I'm going to invite all of you to come join me in my trading room tomorrow. And, Lavu, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to find an order out there like this one, where there's a guy selling 138,000 shares at $40. And what we're going to do is we're going to take your account and we're going to test it, because you think it's so fake. We're going to use your money and we're going to try to execute that guy, and then you're going to tell me how fake it is. All right, does that sound fair? Does everybody want to have a fun show tomorrow? Lavu is going to go out there and he's going to show us all how fake that order is. You want to do that? Anybody want to take it? Anybody want to make that bet? I didn't think so. Now, listen, can people cancel orders? Of course they could. You could cancel an order. But that 138,000 shares is probably made up of 30, 40 different people. Okay? Kay says, I'm not betting, but I would love to see it. Well, like I said, unfortunately the market's closed. I could only show you a lot of this, and I know, listen, anyone can make a pretty PowerPoint, but I'll be happy to show you guys live tomorrow and so you can see how this all works and comes to fruition. Now, let's do a little pop quiz. Looking at this chart right here, what do you think this stock is doing? Is it going to continue? Is it going to go up or down? Just really quick, whatever you just looking at it. First impression. What was the first thing comes to your mind, up or down? Okay. If you have no idea, you shouldn't be trading. Okay. This is not a trick question. Not a trick question. Stock's going down. Okay? You can count the candlesticks, the colors, I don't care. The trend of the stock is going down. All right? Now, how far will this stock drop to? Anybody want to kind of take a guess at that? In other words, when will the stock bounce? What's going to make this stock to go back up? Because the stock's been going down from 31.60. I'm hoping that it doesn't drop to 0. We need orders. We need buyers, right? We need buyers. What happens when you have a 36,000 share buyer sitting at $30.50. Now look at it. You got 700 shares, 1,000, 500, 1,100. But when you get down to $30.50, you got 35,000 shares. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, look over here on the sell side, 100, 300, 600. Not a lot of sellers. You know, obviously there's a hell of a lot more demand than, you know, on the offer. So what we're looking at is Twitter. And there's a reason why I didn't go out there and tell you the stock symbol, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the name of the stock is. They all have buyers and sellers. And when all of you guys thought it was going down, guess what? It hit $30.50 and went straight back up to $31.40 in a matter of what? 10 minutes? Not bad for a day's pay. Okay, a couple of questions coming in here. CC Ryder, are these pre-market orders? No, these orders are running all day long. I actually make most of my money in the pre-market, which you can, all of you will be invited to see what it's like to trade at 8 o'clock in the morning. We do an event at 9 o'clock. You know, we do a broadcast at that time, but my trading room opens up at 8 in the morning. Gary, so why is it not everyone using it? Why, Gary? Well, question is, who trained you? You know, I mean, a lot of people, or I'll be honest with you. You know why? Because it costs money. It costs money. That's right, Sonny. It costs money. And is it a lot of money? No. That's the funny part. But when you go to somebody and you tell somebody it costs $1 versus free, they will always go free. Always go free. Okay? So if I come out here and I tell everyone, guess what? Everybody likes this data? Guess what? $9, you can buy it right now. And I will bet you more than 50% of you would not even move forward. But $9, I don't know, it looks good, but you still wouldn't do it. No, I'm not that, I don't know, maybe you just don't like me, whatever it is. But guys got to remember, as a trader, okay, nothing is free in this world, okay? There's no free lunches. I know people like free lunches. It's great, but I would rather pay $1 than go for a free lunch, okay? It'll just cut the line by 90%. And that's the reason why most people don't use it. And that's another reason why brokerage firms don't market it. For two reasons. Number one, because they don't want you to know what they're doing. And number two, because they don't want to educate you. And two, once they start asking you to come up with some money, they know you're not going to open an account with. Because most people are like, but I can get, they give me a $500 a free account. Why would I pay you $9 and you're not giving me $500? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? That is what makes why you guys are here and are smarter than the 25 million people out there that 80% of people of them lose money. Now, let's get eliminate of everything else. Okay, let me teach let me show you how we train you here at Cyber Trading University. Okay, SGMO. What stock is it? It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. But let's look at this example right here. Where do you think the resistance level? What price you think the stock is going to hit a resistance level in SGMO? 850, 850, 850, 850. Listen, if you said 850, you're absolutely right, because resistance is on the sell orders. These are people looking to sell 200, 600, 200, 100. Oh, look at that, 16,000 at $8.50. Now, when you look at this stock right here, when you look at this chart, what does this chart look like? The stock's doing, going up or down? What does this look like? Up or down? Absolutely right. Definitely higher. Definitely a beautiful chart. Every single one of you said, oh, this stock's going up. Looking at that chart, it's going up. But you just hit a brick wall at 850. And now look what happened. It dropped all the way to 810. You see how things change all of a sudden? Let's go back again. Here's 850. You didn't look at the chart. Now you're looking at the chart without knowing who the hell's at 850 because it looks perfectly, it's going higher. Then when I put both of them together and we saw the 850 and we didn't look at the chart, you would have said, I don't care what that chart looks like because there's a 16,000 share seller out there. It's got to get through him before it goes any higher. And sure enough, looking what happened in the past, now focusing on the future, boom. You just gave away a nice little profit. Well, and by the way, Babu, this is basically, these are large market orders, which we call, here at Cybertrain University, we call them, iceberg orders. Rich says, that's my problem. When I day trade, I get whipped. Well, listen, Richie, that's okay. You're still in the game. You're still here. That's an easy fix. Okay? What are the gray color codes? What do you mean gray? You mean over in the chart? That means, basically, the stock didn't really change from the bid and, from the open and close. There are big bearish signals that just a point. I don't understand your question, John. Where do you find the buy points? Well, Lou, once again, you see big buyers, the buyers on the bid, it goes up. You see big sellers, that is obviously your exit point where to get out. Now, does that seem hard so far, ladies and gentlemen? Everyone follow along? Seem complicated? No, it's not. John says it seems great. So at least you can say when you go home tonight, you learned something. That's the big thing. Well, listen, Carl, regardless about the candles after the execution, this and that, listen, take a step back. We just looking at the raw data. Okay, just looking at the raw data. When you want to start implementing certain charts and stuff, that's great. But you still need to follow the order. You got to follow the order. CB says, please again go over how I can get level 3 data. So CB, you know how you're going to get level 3 data? You got to give me 30 minutes. All right? Give me 30 minutes and I'll tell you, where to get it. And not only that, but I will even show you and a couple of videos that come along with it, okay? So don't worry about that right now. No, it's not available for options, but remember what I told you. You want to be a good options trader, you got to learn how to trade the stock first. So if you look at the buy orders, you will see the price, as you know, would drop too. There you go, John. Now you're starting to add 1 + 1 = 2. Look at that. And by the way, what I'm showing you right now, this is just trading 101. This is just basic. This is basic trading. I didn't even get into detail how to find the stock, what makes it tradable, who's buying it, time and sales, head fakes, Fausto flags. We didn't even get into that. Right now, I'm just showing you the definition of supply and demand. And a lot of you guys don't even know that this even existed. And you know what? That's okay, because that's why you're here. Now, I call these big block orders out there, I came up with this word, call them iceberg orders, why I teach my traders. And the reason why we call them iceberg orders, one day, I don't know about you, but I was watching the movie Titanic with my wife when it came out. And, we all know what happened to the Titanic when it hit an iceberg. It sunk and it killed everybody. Well, guess what? You hit an iceberg, in the stock market, you see a big order like that, and you're not prepared for it, you could lose a lot of money. Because it's not what's on top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water makes the iceberg so big. And everyone's always looking on top. You know why? Because that's the free stuff. Nobody wants to spend a little money to see what's on the bottom. We ain't seen the bottom. I can still see. Yeah, okay. Let me know how that works out for you. Now, listen, I know I was joking around before. Some people asking me, what about these fake orders, right? How do we know like they're real, or I heard stories and, and all that stuff. So let me clarify that. Can you show us example of an iceberg order? Yes, Kathleen, but obviously right now the market's closed. At the end of this presentation, I'll invite you to come during my, I'll invite you to come to my trading room, and you'll be happy to see it. Okay? Now, how do we know these are fake orders? Well, does anyone here use time and sales? Anybody use time and sales? Okay, so that's a problem, because let me explain something to you. Time and sales is what controls the chart. Time and sales are the confirmation of trades that are taking place. So if you and I buy a stock, if you buy it on the bid, it will come up in red on the time and sales. If you buy a stock, it'll come up green. So every trade out there is being recorded. Now, to go back to where some of you were asking me, how do you know these are real orders? How do you know they didn't cancel it? Whatever it is. Well, you're looking at an order out there, right? Now, the only way to know if the guy is getting executed, and you will see his number drop, and you'll see it come up in the time and sales that he's getting executed. So, listen, how many of you saw a stock that was at major resistance and like, oh, the stock is going to back off here, and all of a sudden it breaks right through it? Well, granted, there probably was a big order out there, and someone says, I don't care what the chart says, I need to buy this stock for my client. And then the stock breaks through resistance levels. And you know what? You see that seller out there? Look at time and sales, and that will help explain it. Because if somebody went out there and executed that 50,000, 100,000 share order on the offer, guess what? That stock's going higher. Now, Lou, regarding about dark pools, I'm going to talk about that in the next couple of slides, okay? But don't worry, I got your back on that one. What you're looking at is something called high-frequency trading, algorithms. This makes up about 70% of today's volume. So think about it. By having a little niche of seeing where 70% of the buyers and sellers are, that is what's going to help you get a sense of direction where the market's going. Just like Crohn's. Here's a stock that we were trading. I don't know, did anybody trade the stock? We've been trading the stock for the past 2 weeks. Great stock. Here's my traders. Stock broke all-time highs. Boom. Look at that. Green, 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 green. Just keeps breaking all-time highs. Fun stock. Some of you did. Yeah. Did great with that one. 21 to 25. I don't even think Amazon had that big of a percentage mover in the market. But how do you know it's going up? You look at the time and sales, you look at the orders, and as much as you think like you're hitting resistance levels here, well, guess what? Yeah, it hit resistance okay, and it busted right through it because those guys all got executed. It's always fun when you're making money, Richie says. Well, listen, Rich, it's not just about making money. My job is not to teach you how to make money. My job is to teach you how to stop losing money. See, the winners take care of themselves. It's the losers that a lot of you guys have to understand how to control. If everyone was making money, believe me, nobody would be here. It's like anything else. If you know how to play the game, even when you lose, it's a lot of money. Well, listen, losing that. I always tell everybody, I have a motto about losing money. Losing money is a good thing because if you know why you lost, you shouldn't do it again. And making money could be a bad thing because if you don't know why you made money, how are you going to do that again? And that's what basically comes down to it. You got to know, like let's say you shorted this stock and the stock went up. Well, why did it go up? And if you don't know why you lost money, you're going to be like, oh, my God, I can't short again. Last time I shorted, I lost money. Well, do you know why you lost money? Maybe. Listen, you're going to lose in trading. Steve will tell you every day. We lose money all the time. But at the end of the day, we end up making money. You know, it's like a baseball player. They don't bat 1,000, they bat 300. But they strike out 70% of the time. But us, we don't strike out 70%. We're usually batting about 700, which is pretty good. All right, so anyway, look at this stock. Look at the time in sales. Red, 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 red. What do you think the stock is doing? Going down. PCG, that was a fun stock. Everybody know what PCG was? That was a fun stock. That was that company that the utility company that got blamed for the fires in California. Crushed $50 down to $6. Unbelievable. And let me tell you, unfortunately, catastrophes make opportunities for us traders. I mean, now it's back up to $14, you know, and people are like, well, how's it back to 14? I thought it was going bankrupt. Hey, you know what? That's what trading's all about, guys. That's right, Carl. There you go. You just hit the nail right in the head. Time and sales show when the trade got executed, the price, the size, and the time. Exactly. Now you're going somewhere. All right, now, for some of you asking me this question, and you're probably shocked that I even had it on the screen, but finding the dark pools, okay? Let me tell you, if you go on Investopedia, a dark pool are not available to the trading public, okay? So if you go on there and you watch the video, it'll tell you exactly within 60 seconds what a dark pool. Listen, the dark pools are least of your problems, okay? I know dark pools because I used to trade them. Basically, all it is a brokerage firm trading a big order within his brokerage account. Now, if you're worrying about steal, thieves, and crooks and stuff like that, then do yourself a favor. You should be trading. You know, dark pools are the least of your problems. I mean, you know what? And when they're out there and you see a big order, a dark pool like this of 490,000 shares being traded, you know, yeah, you know what? Of course it'll push the stock down. You know, you'll see something like that, an unusual print like that. But you know how hard it is to focus on that? If I had to focus on a dark pool, believe me, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be probably working for somebody else. The least of your problems. What you should care about is who's buying it at these resistance levels and who's selling it at the who's buying at the support level, who's selling at the resistance levels. That's what you should be focused on. I know I get people always asking me about like, ooh, what about this? And I thought they're liars and cheaters and dark pool. It's like, what is this, Darth Vader or something? Come on. Focus on the high frequency trades. That is what controls the market. Institutions. Dominating market makers. Now, the thing that us traders also focus on, I want to clarify something, is that we're just here to make money, just like you, okay? And what happens is that the reason why traders fail is because they get greedy and cocky. They don't realize that you buy 1,000 shares of stock, or even like 500 shares of stock, it moves up $1. Everybody's like, "Ooh, what the hell is $1?" I don't know. It's $500 a day. That's over $100,000 a year. Who doesn't want that job? And how much money do you need to trade that stock? I don't know, what, $17,000? And that's a $35 stock to buy 500 shares. Hell, if you just bought 250 shares, you need $250. That's a $50,000 salary a year. Any of you guys trade MGNX? Here's a stock that we traded. These are all our traders. Ken made about 71 cents. Fernando, 80 cents. Benito, 40 cents. Up 164% today. Yeah, volume, 5 million shares. Sounds pretty good to me, and it wasn't even 10 o'clock in the morning. Stock went from $20 all the way up to $32. Sound like a big move? Sure was. But what was everybody else thinking about? Oh, what is Tesla options doing today? Oh, what happened to Facebook? Oh, I heard that Amazon's going to get hurt because the Inquirer just came out with some pictures against him with his mistress. Whatever it is, ladies and gentlemen, I would rather trade an MGNX every day than trading a brand name, because this is what day traders focus on. It's all about just making a day's pay and finding stocks that have momentum. Momentum and volatility, just like you said, Matt. Momentum and volatility. Alan says, how fast can your time in sales change from a lot to red sellers to a lot to green buyers? Momentum changes. Well, Alan, you got to remember that there are some stocks that move a hell of a lot faster than you should be trading. There are 25,000 stocks that trade. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't use certain tools is because they're looking at stocks that are too fast for them to even comprehend. But don't worry about that. When you come to my trading room and you see an example of what we're trading, stocks like, Arlo. I don't know if you guys saw Arlo. That was a great short right there. Arlo got trust. That's that camera, that security camera company. Great short. I mean, there are a lot of stocks out there that won't move as quickly that you can comprehend than trading something like a crazy ETF that moves so quickly you can't even keep up with it. Hell, and if I can't keep up with it, you're definitely not keeping up with it. How do you find them? Exactly what you're looking at right here. Right through your percentage gainers and losers. Now, for me, just to let you know, like a lot of the trading that we do at Cybertrade University, we kind of usually trade in pre-market. If you notice, this is 8:30 in the morning, right? And from 8:30, it ran from 22 to about 9:30, ran to $32. Most of us day traders, most of our trades are done in pre-market. Anyone here trade pre-market? Anybody do pre-market trading? Yes, no. You know why a lot of people don't trade pre-market? Because they didn't know their brokerage firm will let them. There's nothing to be scared about. So the big thing we want to teach you guys is the KISS method. Just keep it super simple. Everybody makes things more complicated than what it is. And listen, there's all types of traders out there. And and the thing is this: there's great presenters. Steve had me come here to kind of give you a different perspective of what day trading's about. And believe me, we all learn from each other. I learned a lot by watching him. Listen, great traders never stop learning. Listen, do I really need to learn from Steve? Other than, listen, I beat every school out there, but anything that gives you an edge. Everything gives you an edge. Pre-market volume, Matt, about maybe 15 to 25,000 minimum. Depends on the time of the morning. One needs more pre-market info to plan to day trade before the market opens. Carl, once again, you want to see it live? I'm about to tell you. I'm going to invite you all to come and watch it with me. Okay? Alan, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, we're going to come up to the end of today's presentation, so let me just kind of get right to it and just clarify something very important. You guys realize, and this is where I get frustrated, everyone's trying to hit like home runs. You realize if you make 50 cents a day on 1,000 shares, that's 120,000 a year? 50 cents. 50 lousy little stinking cents. Some people don't realize how much money it is. It's almost like fake. Everybody's like, you know what? I'm going to hold it for 2 weeks. I want to hold it for 3 months. And next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, I made $3. Yeah, well, if you broke it up over every day that you traded, would you end up making 5 cents? Believe me, there's stocks that move all day long. And if you look at Wall Street, majority of the people trading on the floor are all day traders. That's it. Richie says, my problem is I hit home runs. You know what? Who's a better baseball player? Joe DiMaggio or Mark McGwire? Other than Mark McGwire took steroids. Okay. So anyway, what did one do? One hit the ball 56 times in a row. The other guy broke the world's record home run. Who would you rather be on your team? Because you know how many more strikeouts you're going to get more than just hitting base hits? It's all about base hits. You're going to hit those home runs. Don't worry about that. You just got to be, that's right, you got to be steady Eddie. Exactly. Now, just to guys give you a little heads up, one thing we're very proud of is that Cyber Trading University has been endorsed by more brokerage firms in the past 25 years than any, than any of the schools out there in the industry. We do presentations for all these companies. And let me tell you something. As a trader, well, thank you very much, Matt, but I just want you guys to understand, these brokerage firms have a lot to risk, with compliance and this and that. And Steve does a lot of presentations for them also. So, I know a lot of you guys will sample a couple of different people, but I think one of the biggest things is this. Regardless of the fake news you might ever read about any one of us on the internet, believe me, these brokerage firms done their homework, okay? The last thing they want is someone to represent them that is teaching people that it doesn't work. So, listen, every single one of you need to learn, not from one, but from several mentors. You need to learn a little bit from everybody, okay? You just can't just learn from one person. And, and you got to try this strategy, but you can't be all over the place. And then you guys are going to realize that trading is one of the best jobs in the world. You could spend more time with your family. You could do those things you always wanted to do. It's the greatest job in the world. You just got to be patient, and you got to learn from people that are really good at it. So this is what I'm going to invite all of you guys to do, okay? I want to invite you all to come into my trading room, and I want you to see us trade in the pre-market. I'm going to give you a week in my trading room, okay? And this is the original trading room that came out. I did it 25 years ago. Come in the trading room, and what I want you guys to see is this. Don't look at me, okay? I don't want you to monitor me. I mean, I know I'm a good trader, but that doesn't help you. What you want to see is look at the students, how they work with each other, how they think for themselves, how they find stocks to trade with themselves, and how they know how to play with others. That's what I want you to see, okay? And then you make a decision if trading is for you or not. So the chart with the black background is not a good story. Well, listen, it's not really black. It was black for this one, but I usually blue and white. All right? So anyway, this is what I'm offering everyone. Listen, I'm not asking for a lot of money. I just want you guys to know if you're a real person. So this is what I'm asking for. For $9, this is it, just for $9. This only tells me if you're a real person because we don't want to put every Tom, Dick, and Harry in our room. For $9, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get access to our trading group room, 3 daily market meetings, a morning and afternoon watch list, your own personal education advisor, okay? So you'll be able to talk to somebody. You're going to get Q&A session. And after 7 days, if you're not happy, I'll give you $7 back. Listen, your $9. Guys, listen, I don't need your $9, okay? I'm looking for people I could teach how to trade so we could make money together. And this, as a bonus, is what I'm going to throw in there. For the first 20 people that register right now, I will personally give you a coaching class as a bonus. Think about it. When's the last time you spoke to anybody, including the owner of the company? And why would I do this, right? You know why I will do this? When you come in the class on Monday morning, when you register, you're going to know exactly why I'm doing this. Because we're going to make a lot of money together. But first, I need to make sure that trading's for you. So go out there, $9, money back guarantee, see what it's all about, and then go from there, and you'll learn all the good and all the bad. All right? Well, Rich, like I said, you got the link right there. You just click on that link. Did I do that? I guess I could. I'll do it. If you click right there, and I guess it'll open up a page, I think, and you'll be able to register. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, it opens up for you. All right? Rich says, I want to be the first. Well, like I said, guys, this is what we're going to cover. I just basically talked about level 3, and by the way, a lot that I taught you, you could use it towards Steve Bigelow's trading too, because I know you guys are in his room too. You could have 2 rooms opening up. I have traders that on both of our rooms. Go out there, do your trading, and see what it's all about. And know what the real truth about if this is something that is for you. Because like I told you, it's not for everybody. Listen, I know everybody wants to trade. Doesn't mean you should trade. Okay? Well, like I told you, Jay, you got nothing to lose other than you'll get your money back. Now, just really quick, I just want to do a couple of shout-outs. John D. from, you're the first, actually, from Venice, Florida, just got your registration. Thank you very much. Bill from Buffalo, Bill from Buffalo, look at that. Just got a ring to that. Just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Steve Sanders from Hillman. I don't know what state you're from. I guess I was never there. But look forward to teaching you. Looks like everyone's starting to register. Any other questions, by the way, that I can answer in the meantime? Any other questions? Also, my chart's black background is easy on my eyes. Well, once again, it works for a lot of people. Depends on where you are. Depending how dark your room is, it kind of helps you. Going dark, whatever it is. But we got layouts. By the way, if anyone has a platform, a Thinkorswim, TradeStation, when you're in my room, I also give you a copy of my layout. What's the minimum account I need? You see, Lou, let me tell you something. That's a misconception. People think you need a lot of money to do this. You don't need a lot of money to do this. I mean, we're not trading stocks over $30, $40. I mean, sometimes we do, but most of the time, why? If a stock moves, if a $5 stock moves 50 cents versus a $50 stock that moves 50 cents, it's still the same $500. We're just here to make money. What's the best source of level 3 data? So, John, the best source is I would probably use the Matrix on TradeStation, and actually we showcase that platform in our trading room. So let me show you how it works before you go out there. Take the $9 before you go out there and spend money, $15, whatever it is, and let me show it to you how it works first. And by the way, when you do register, you are going to get a video, a day trading crash course. It's going to go over a couple of live demos of how to use that level 3. And Gary, listen, just remember one thing. When I started, and I had to buy level 3 quotes, used to be called Instinet. Steve probably remembers it. I had to pay $2,000 a month for it 25 years ago. Could you imagine if I'm here pitching a platform that costs $2,000 a month? You know how many of you guys might sign up? Not that many, because you'd be like, let me try it and see how it works. Yeah, you know what? I did that 25 years ago, and I went through $200,000 until I realized it. But does it cost $2,000? No, it costs $15. But you know what? Try it for $9 first, then we'll go from there. Matt, listen, if you sign up now, you don't have to start tomorrow. I recommend you start on a Monday. And if you're one of the first 20 out there, I usually make my appointments on Wednesday and Thursday because I want to give you guys a couple of days in the room to kind of get a feel of what it is. So when we talk, we know exactly how to answer your I can answer your questions in great detail. Tony, will this help me with futures trading? It will help you with swing trading and options trading. I don't trade futures, but I know Steve has a couple of good futures guys out there. The psychology is going to help you, but let me tell you, don't worry about the certain different markets. If you want to know what you might like stock trading. I'll just be honest with you. If you're not making, listen, if you're doing futures. And if you're not making money within a couple of months starting out, maybe it's time to change. JJ, with E-Trade Works, I'm not a fan of E-Trade because, you know what, they're such a big company and just another number out there. They have a decent platform, but there's better ones out there. But if that's what you have, you could still use our style for what you're using. Matt says signing up now, start later. That's okay, absolutely, because Matt, you're going to talk to an education advisor, and they're going to turn on your account, so you have access to it. Listen, we're very, very strict who we allow in our room. We always get people that want to steal our clients. We have people that want to steal our content, hecklers. Yeah, listen, jealous competitors. So, we just don't let anyone in the room. So when you sign up, you're going to have to go through a step to turn it on by talking to one of your education advisor. And he's also going to tell you a little bit of what you're going to be learning in the room, and then you'll go from there. But don't worry about it. You can start when you're ready. Does Thinkorswim have level 3? No, it doesn't, Don. It does not have it. But it's a great platform, and you could use it. What we're teaching you, listen, I've done plenty of events for Thinkorswim. You're just going to have to get a second. You just have to get a second. You have to order it and do it side by side. Have a $75 in options account. Is this enough? No, I would say no. It's not, Lou. Jay, well, welcome aboard. I appreciate it. More than welcome. Look forward to seeing you. Yeah, I see Carl B. from Alexandria, Virginia. Thanks for registering. Nero from Israel. Oh, what time is it in Israel right now? Who else? Alan Coe from Texas. Just got your registration. Good. A couple other questions. Let me just read them here. The list is getting so long, can't keep up with it, but let me just go through it here. What are you offering advantage for someone that has heavily committed to Thinkorswim? Well, Bruce, you could use the platform. It's still a good platform, but what I would do is when you come to my trading room, I probably would tell you to buy the NASDAQ NASDAQ Total View from NASDAQ's website, and you could use it. You could use both of them. There's level 3 on Interactive Brokers. Okay, it depends. I don't know which account you have, but it could have it. I'm not a fan of Interactive Brokers. I know they have good cheap tickets, but I know the service is not always the greatest, depending on where you are. If you're limited in Canada or whatever, it's probably the best one out there, but there's better companies than Interactive Brokers, I'll be honest with you. So where do you order level 3 from, Don? Don, you know what? You know where you order level 3? Right here. ctu.co/trial. And I'll show you where to get it. Because I'm not going to tell you where to buy it, because if you know where it is, you probably do more damage and blow up your account. Let me show you for a week, and then we'll worry about where to buy it. You might not, because it might not be for you. Jim, I don't know. You know what? Probably I did. If you got a confirmation, then you're there. All right. Me neither. Just wanted to start on. You're more than welcome, Mel. Didn't get the answer at TD Ameritrade level 3, please. Ron, TD Ameritrade doesn't have it. They're not really a direct access broker. They're an online broker. Now, that doesn't make them a bad account. I actually have an account with them, but for for trading, active trading, it's really not the greatest platform to use. What about Charles Schwab's platform? Charles, well, if you got the Edge platform, then you're in good hands. I know the Edge has it. They built that platform as a direct access system. Tony, what is the fee after the trial period? Listen, if you like it and you want to continue, it's $150 a month. If you don't worry about it. We won't charge you for it. Okay, Tony? Trust me, we don't need any bad publicity on the internet, and believe me, I don't need $150. Okay? At the end of the day, you're just really covering the cost of running the room. That's about it. All right, so it's 9 o'clock, and I know Steve's got to go. I don't want to go over my time, but guys, listen. Hope everyone learned a valuable lesson today. Listen, I know everybody wants to trade, but like some of us traders will tell you, it doesn't mean you should. The only way you're going to know if trading is for you, you got to learn from professionals. You got to know and try it out with other people, see how it works, and go from there. But, listen, it's not that hard. It's really not. A lot of us make things more complicated than what it is. A lot of us are a deer in the headlights. A lot of us read too many books. You got to put some skin in the game. So go out there, sample a little bit of everyone's product. I know Steve's got great presenters that come in here that he loves to introduce. Try a little bit of everyone. You don't got to spend a lot of money on education, but you should know the difference of why one person will trade another. Try them out and go from there. But don't be scared, guys. It's not that hard to do. You got to try trading a little bit. All right. And with that said, everybody, Steve, thanks for having me. Becky, Jim, it's been great having you guys me back. And look forward to seeing you guys in some of the other upcoming webinars that we're doing. And everyone here, listen, thanks for taking the time for listening to me tonight, this evening. I know it's late for some of you, and some it's pretty early, but for me it's getting a little late. But thanks for having me, and guys, happy trading. Okay.